Hi guys, it's Latoya here with Elevated Standards. We are going to do a deep dive into what beneficial ownership information reporting is and how to report. But before we do, the reason that we're going to dive into this subject matter in the month of November is because November is Entrepreneurship Month, and it was created in 2011 by President Barack Obama. And he founded it because small businesses are the heartbeat of America. We employ so many individuals and we do a lot for our community. We really focus on our why. Why do we exist as small businesses and how do we help those who we are trying to serve? Whether it's in the community, our local area, our state, or more niche down. So let's go into beneficial ownership information and why it is important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen so that we can dive into it. And do note that this is a federal requirement. And Elevated Standards is here to help keep small businesses in compliance. And so that's the importance for us to make sure that we get this information out there to you so that we can all just avoid these pesky fines of $500 a day because we're not compliant. So let's get started. Let's see if I can share my screen. Beneficial ownership information, and it is presented by Elevated Standards. So let's get started. Okay. So our agenda today is to define what is beneficial ownership information reporting, who has to report beneficial ownership information, how to report beneficial ownership information, and when to report beneficial ownership information. And I'm not going to keep saying the full term. We're going to refer to this as BOI or BOIR, as you see on the screen. So, what is a beneficial owner? A beneficial owner is the actual owner of the company, the person who owns the company. That's the first definition. The second definition is someone who owns at least 25% of the company or has 25% control of the company. Okay, so we're going to go by ownership and percentage. 25% control of the company is number two. And number three is authority. Who has substantial control over the company? Who is the one who can make decisions without having to check in and make sure and it's fine? They can hire and fire without asking permission, right? And this is not your manager, if you will. And this is the person who doesn't have to go through the red tape in your company, okay? So who has substantial control over your company? Okay, they can make financial decisions. They could do everything. Okay, substantial control over the company. So it is ownership, percentage, and authority that defines beneficial ownership, a beneficial owner rather. And this beneficial owner and beneficial ownership information uh, has been defined as of January 1st, 2024. And it, like I said again, it is a federal requirement. So let's keep going. Why do we have to report BOI? We have to report beneficial ownership information because the US government, they want to strengthen the integrity of the US financial systems by making it harder for people to do bad things. Okay. Illicit activities are not allowed. Money laundering is a huge problem. And when you are applying for a job, if you're a job seeker, and you come across these companies that, seem wonderful. And in my area, I have a particular area, not far actually, about maybe 10, 15 miles away from my home and business that is known for having companies that are just not of substance, if you will. So you'll get called in for an interview and you think you're doing something, but these people are really just collecting your information. Okay. And they're collecting your information to do whatever they're going to go do with. And you'll notice when you come in, everything is sparkling clean. And you go to the receptionist desk, and their desk is completely like empty, other than maybe, the laptop or a phone or whatever. Because now everyone has cell phones. It's just really just a laptop out there, and they say, "Oh, just have a seat in our waiting area, and so and so will see you soon," right? And you go into so and so's office, and there's nothing on their desk, like at all. Like, not to say that you need to have things on your desk, but there's a difference between being clean and just being a shell of a company. And that's what a lot of these places in that particular area, I'm not going to call out the area because there are some legit businesses within that area, but we all have them in our communities where you have a shell of a company, and it's like, okay, they look like they're doing business. There's always people in the waiting area to be seen by these professionals, and no one there is working. They're working to get your information. So, you know, that's a bad thing. That's what I mean by a bad thing. And then there's the money laundering part of it as well. And who knows how the ins and outs of that may work. But you cannot hide your assets. You just can't do that. As a business owner, that's just poor taste. You can't do that. And if you're a legitimate business, you're not hiding assets. You're working hard, right? So that's the reason why we have to report it, because so many people are doing bad things that the government wants to make sure that there's enough good companies out there, people who are doing the work of the people who are doing the work of what is needed within the community, solving a problem, actually legitimate businesses, right? And so that's the reason that we have to do it, because there's so many people doing bad things. Okay, so now companies created in the United States by filing a document by the Secretary of State. That's how file. Um, that's how you file for your small business within your state. You have to go through the department. Um, you have to go through the Secretary of State, rather. And this is a lot of LLCs, limited liability companies, and corporations fall under the category of people who must file or report the beneficial ownership information, in which we said before, which was the owners, people who have at least 25% or more uh, control of the company, and those who have substantial control of the company can make decisions without permission, right? And this does not just apply to domestic companies. This also applies to foreign companies that were registered in the US. Okay, so if you're a company, a foreign company that is registered to do business in the US, this may apply to you as well. However, there are 23 exceptions, two of which are publicly traded companies and nonprofits. So if you fall into one of those two categories, the likelihood is that you may not have to file beneficial ownership information. However, if you do not fall into one of the 23 types of entities that are exempt from beneficial ownership information, then you will have to do the reporting. But before we get into reporting completely, let's talk about company applicants. So, what is company applicant? It is an individual who directly files or is primarily responsible for the filing of the documents that created or registered a company. So, if you are the owner of the company and you registered your business with the Secretary of State, then you are also the company applicant. However, if you have someone else do it for you, then that person is now company applicant, and you must get their information and report that as well. Companies, however, and legal entities cannot be company applicants. So if you hired a company like Elevated Standards to do your registration for your company, to file your company so that you could be a legitimate company, that's the starting process, right? If you go through that process with companies, say like Elevated Standards, then Elevated standards cannot be a company applicant because companies and legal entities are not a part of the company applicants. Okay, so just know that this will be only individuals who will be considered a company applicant. So, who is required to report company applicant? So, any business that was reported, started on or after January 1st, 2024, when this rule went into place through the federal government, then you must report your company applicants. Okay. That's domestic and foreign companies that started to do business, were registered to do business on or after January 1st, 2024. However, if your business was filed and registered with the Secretary of State prior to January 1st, 2024, then you are not required to report your company applicant. That does not mean that you are not required to file your beneficial ownership information. You are required, regardless of when your company was filed, and you do not fall into those 23 exceptions, you are required to file your beneficial ownership information. However, if it was before January 1st, 2024, you do not have to file the company applicant. You know the difference. If you have any questions about that, please do see me. Let me know, and I will answer any questions that you may have. Okay. You can also leave a comment section, a comment in the section below, and I will answer it for you, and send you to the direction of the site of where you need to go for clarification. However, that information is coming shortly. So what happens if you do not report? You say, so what? I have a business, but I don't want to do this reporting. Well, guess what? The federal government is not playing with you because the civil penalties are up to $500 a day, $500 a day violation. Okay. So you don't want to get hit with these fines daily. I hope that everyone's business is doing well, but why are we spending unnecessary money? Okay. Make sure you file your beneficial ownership information and not get hit with these fines of $500 a day. That's just civil. That doesn't include the criminal penalties, which include imprisonment up to 2 years and or a fine up to $10,000. Why are we doing this? Let's not uh let's not do this. Let's not do things that we're not supposed to do. Okay. Let's be wise and do wise things and follow the government's direction as far as what we're supposed to do as business owners. Okay. Um, and so yeah, let's get it together. How to report beneficial ownership information. This is the part that you really, really want to know. So we had to define what it was before we could talk about, how to do it. Okay. Because you needed to know who needed to file and why. But let's talk about the how. How to report beneficial ownership information. To file your BOI, you must do so by going through FinCEN's website. So FinCEN is the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, and it is a bureau from the U.S. Department of Treasury. Okay, so the U.S. Department of Treasury Bureau called FinCEN, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, they are requiring that we get this done through the federal government, right? They're the entity that is making sure that we have a portal to file our beneficial ownership information, which is a federal requirement. Okay. And just know that reporting is free. I have been approached by people who have ill intent. Okay. So people have reached out to me because I have done an article or a blog on beneficial ownership information reporting. And we have done several of these um, videos, and this one will be posted as well. We have done several of them And people have seen them and they'll call me up or they'll email me and say, "Hey, Latoya, we saw that, you're talking about the beneficial ownership information reporting. Send us your clients so that we can help them with beneficial ownership information so that we can store their information in case they need it for later." Do not do that. Do not do that. I am advising you not to do that, okay? You, as a small business owner, likely do not have many owners of the company, okay? You may have three. Okay, there may be more, I don't know, but listen, you may have three. Okay, get everyone together. Stop playing. Stop playing these games. Get everyone together at one time. Send their information. You need a copy of their ID. Not a problem. Get everyone's information together. Store it yourself. Okay. Now we will help you, but we're not storing your information. Okay. I'm going to walk you through this. I'm going to talk you through this. It's pretty straightforward, but some people may have some questions. I'm going to walk you through it. And the reason that I do not store your information because you still have to give me your ID. Why am I holding your ID? No, you file your beneficial ownership report yourself. Okay. The business owner should do that. There are companies out here that will help you. Yes, we are busy as business owners. I understand that, but there are a lot of scams out here, and I do not want you to get scammed. I do not want your information to be compromised because you did not want to take a few moments to do what was necessary to be in compliance. Okay. If you need someone to walk you through the steps, I will walk you through the steps. Don't give your information out to people unless you know that that is a trusted person. If you know that this is a trusted person or trusted company, then go right ahead if that's what you want to do. But beware of those that are not trusted companies, okay? Because people, like I said, I've been approached many times and it's not a good thing. And you're seeing this on social media platforms that people are saying, "Hey, I specialize in this." Okay. And no, we're not doing it. We're not doing that. We are going to do things the right way and we're not going to get scammed in the process. Okay. All right. Now, what will you need to report? This is what we were just talking about. You need your ID card. Okay. Because the reporting company, okay, needs the full legal name, any trade names, your current U.S. address, where was the company filed, and your EIN. Okay. In the U.S., you're going to likely have an EIN, but you just need the IRS tax identification number, which includes an EIN. Okay, that's an EIN is part of individual taxpayer identification number. However, it's not vice versa. Okay, so EIN will work. The each beneficial owner and company applicant must also have their full legal name, date of birth, current address. Okay, and then you need one of the four documents: a U.S. passport, a state license or identification. Okay, government identification. Um, and then, if you do not have those information, for any individual who does not have the previously stated documents, you need a foreign passport. Okay, because remember that this applies to both foreign and domestic companies. Okay, foreign companies that were registered to do business in the U.S. must also provide the beneficial ownership information report as well. Okay. And like I said, there are 23 exceptions. So where do we find that out at? Before I get there, when to report. When to report. If your business was created before January 1st, 2024, you have until January 1st, 2025 to report. However, if your business was registered in 2024, you must report your beneficial ownership information within 90 calendar days after receiving notice that your business has been registered. If you're seeing this and it's no longer 2024, it's 2025 and beyond. Okay. On January 1st, 2025, and after, your BOI has to be filed within 30 calendar days of receiving actual notice of the creation of your business. And any updates that you may have also must be submitted within 30 days. Okay. So just know that we are changing and maneuvering because right now it is November of 2024. And so we're at the end of this requirement. Remember, it is Entrepreneurship Month, and we want to celebrate Entrepreneurship Month by doing what we need to do, by staying in compliance. Okay. Let's stay in compliance and do what we're supposed to do. All right. Where in the world? Oh, okay. I didn't know why I didn't come up. So here are some resources for you. FinCEN, okay? So remember to check out their small entity compliance guide. That's where you're going to find those 23 exceptions, and any questions that you may have, they will be answered there. Also, you can reach out to FinCEN by using a contact form, and the link is on the screen so that you can contact them if you have any questions. Also, if you need to contact them via telephone, then you can give them a call. They have a toll-free number. That information is also listed on the screen. Elevated standards, of course, we are a resource for you, okay? So we will assist you. We will not do it for you. We will assist you in filing your beneficial ownership report, okay? You want to answer any questions you may have. If you don't want to go through FinCEN and you say, hey, Latoya, I just have a few questions, I'm here. So uh you can always reach out to me and I'm gonna have my contact information up for you. We also do your LLC operating agreements because remember, for your beneficial ownership information, you need to know who are the owners of the company and what percentage does each person have. So if a person has 10% control of the company, they are not required to file beneficial ownership information. However, if they have 25% or more, then they are required to file BOIR. Okay. And we also help you with your bookkeeping. That is a part of our business development. Part of our business development, well, is a wide range of what that includes. But the bookkeeping part of it is to help you stay on top of your books. Okay. You need to know what's coming in, what's going out. You need to have a strong understanding on your financial uh health within your business. And our bookkeeping services help you within the area. So if you want to reach out to me, you may do so. My information is on the screen, and I just want to help you be compliant. Okay. So I hope that this information was helpful. Okay. Like I said, we do not want to have $500 fines per day. Per day. Get that through our heads now. $500 per day. We don't want that. So take the time to file your beneficial ownership information by going to FinCEN's website. And like I said, if you have any questions, you can definitely ask me or go to FinCEN yourself. All right. Beware of these scams, guys. Beware of them because nobody wants this trouble. Nobody wants the trouble, right? Beware of the scams and make sure that you file your beneficial ownership information and do so within the time frame that you're supposed to file. Okay. I hope that you guys have an amazing day and I'll see you next time. Bye now.